customer operations for Auto Trader. In that role, I basically manage our contact centers for the B2B and B2C side, order fulfillment, graphic design, collections, soup to nuts, basically.
The whole thing. That's awesome. Will you share with us some of the top 3 reasons why VOC, or voice of the customer feedback, is so vital to creating a personalized customer experience?
Absolutely. Creating a personalized customer experience is, I don't know that there's anything that's more important when you are dealing with your customers, right? And the reasons why are, one, the biggest reason is because those are the ones that pay our mortgages, right? The folks that we're creating these experiences for. They pay mine, they pay yours, they pay everyone's mortgage. So that, when I look at my mortgage every month, that's reason one. But I think really and truly it's about when you're looking at the future of your company, your organization, the best way to figure out what you need in the future is to listen to what your customers are telling you now. That sets you up for long-term growth, and it sets you up really to be able to sustain that kind of growth. But if you're not, you're always reacting. And so I guess the third reason would be to get yourself out of a reactive place, because if you're constantly reacting to your customers, you're behind. But if you are listening to what they have to say, even sometimes before they say it verbally, you're going to get ahead of issues, and you're going to be able to prevent bad experiences, as well as planning for the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, did you talk a little bit about what your customers tell you what they want, and then the unspoken things that they don't say, or maybe not that they're withholding, but you don't have that information on them? How have you been able to kind of fill the cracks between channels?
Absolutely. I always say that the survey results, what they tell us in a survey, is kind of the last indicator. They've spoken up way before that. And that's where we've had to work to really fill those gaps. What they do is they tell us what their behavior. And like so many other companies, we have a lot of information on what they do, right? Whether it's on our website, or whether it's how they pay their bills, or how they're using our products. We have a lot of data on that. So what's really been helpful for us is understanding, what does that behavior indicate they're going to do? Or what does that behavior tell us they're reacting to? Or even, is there a problem that they're not even telling us? What's really fascinating is when you figure this out, and you figure out those behaviors, and it's going to be different for every business, but when you figure those behaviors out, you're actually able to help them figure out what their problems are going to be before they know their problems. And I'm not talking about just with your product, but their business problems. We're largely B2B, so we can get out ahead of the problems they're going to have in their business if we can track those behaviors. What's great about that is they don't even know they're telling us. Mm-hmm. They don't realize they're telling us, which then makes us a really, provides greater value as a vendor and a solution provider for us to our clients.
How do you pinpoint specific application areas and functional uses for your VOC data?
It's a really great question. So it's a combination of ways. I wish I could give you a simple formula, but there's not. There's not a simple formula. So I'd say the first way is a lot of trial and error. If you've got some data and you know your business, you can kind of piece it together and say, okay, what is this doing? I just lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
Tell me the question.
Yeah. How do you pinpoint specific application areas and functional uses for your VOC data?
Yeah. So when we have this data and we know our customers, we know our business, what we've been able to do is really kind of combine the data with that kind of gut feeling about what's going on. And when we do that, we can find areas where we can impact something. So, I've given examples of how we show, or how we can tell how someone's patterns are in paying their bills. We didn't know what that was telling us until we just started messing with it and saying, okay, what happens if they're a little late paying their bill? What happens next? And so you just kind of let it play out, and then you start basically forming a hypothesis, test it. If it proves true, awesome, you're onto something for sure. So it's a lot of trial and error. A lot of it depends on really understanding your business and understanding your customers, which goes all the way back to the beginning, right? Understanding what they're going through. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. How do you suggest customer experience professionals position their customer data analytics at the forefront of operations, culture, and strategy?
Yeah, that is probably what I think customer experience professionals struggle with the most. A lot of folks in the C-suite will hear customer experience as kind of a warm and fuzzy. It's not really something that's tangible. And what I feel like our responsibility is to make it tangible, speak the language that our business leaders want to hear, and the language that they speak. You can't get frustrated when one time they don't hear you and they make a different decision. It's about continuing down that path and showing with data, with analytics, which is the hard stuff. That's the heavy lifting.
God liked that answer.
Apparently, yes. But it really is. When you think about what does the finance team bring to the executive team when they're putting the budget together for the next year or the forecast together? Well, they're bringing them all the data on what we've done and what we're going to do. So when you take an approach like that for customer experience, I think you really do get the attention of your C-suite in a way that they understand. And at the end of the day, if you can tie it to revenue, anything around revenue, you're going to get their attention.